Hey, in the last video I showed you how to build an equation for a line using the point-slope form if given a point and a slope. And what you're looking at right now is an equation that's in the point-slope form. The next thing you have to know how to do is how to transform that into a slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. The first thing you do is distribute. And in this one we'll distribute the 5 by multiplying it times the x and multiplying it times the 2. And when you do that, you're going to get y minus 3 equals 5x plus 10. The next step would be to solve for y. So we're going to add 3 to both sides. And what you end up with y equals 5x plus 13. Now this is slope-intercept form. And you can see once it's written like that, that the 5 is the slope and the 13 is the y-intercept. So today we're going to take this backwards one step. And now you will not have the point slope form, but I'm going to give you a point and a slope. We're going to put it in point slope form, and then we're going to solve it for y, so it'll be in slope intercept form. I know it's a lot of terminology, but just watch. The first thing we have to do is take this information, take the parts, and we're going to put them into the formula for point slope and assemble it first using that. My point is 5, 3, x1 is 5, and y1 is 3, so we're going to pop these into the formula right now. The negatives in the equation that I'm writing are coming from the formula. So the y1 is 3, the x1 is 5, and the slope is 7/5. Now the next step is to distribute that 7/5 across, and I know this is a fraction, but it's going to work out all right. Y minus 3 equals 7/5 times x. You just write them together. And now when you multiply a fraction times its own denominator, those 5's are going to cancel. And what you're left with is just the numerator, which is 7. And that's the same 7 that was up in the top of the fraction. The 5's cancel, 7 comes down. Now we add 3 to both sides. And we're left with y equals 7/5 x, and a negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. And we are done. It is now in slope-intercept form. Oh, I forgot to write down what the third step was. We solve for y, and that's how we get it into that final form. So let's make sure the notes are good here. Here's a try it. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do it, and I'll be right back with the solution. You need to take the information from the point and put it into the slope-intercept form. There's the y went in, the x went in, the slope went in. Then we're going to do distributive property and solve for y. Should have gotten y equals 1/3 x. All right, now for this example, I'm giving you 2 points. And so instead of giving you the slope, we have to figure out what the slope is. The formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the slope. The abbreviation is m. When we plug in the points, we have negative 4 minus 0 over 2 minus 0. And that's going to work out to be negative 4 over 2. And when you do negative 4 divided by 2, that is negative 2. That is our slope. Now you get to pick any point that you want to use when you go to do the point slope form. That's the slope form. I'm just putting a box around it so we don't lose it. This is the point slope form we're going to use now. You got all these tools you have to keep track of, and they're named based on what they are. So we're going to use the point 0, 0. So we have y minus 0 equals negative 2 times x minus x1, which is also 0. This turns out to be y equals negative 2x. Just in general, if you get to choose any points that have zeros in them, I suggest you do. They make the math a lot easier. I won't always do that so you can see. Here's a try it again. Pause the video and see how you do. Start by finding the slope. All right, the first step is to find the slope, which means I'm labeling all my points so I don't get anything mixed up. And it's going to be 5 minus a negative 5 over x2, which is 0 minus 4. The double negatives there are going to change to a positive, and 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 5 plus 5 is 10 over negative 4. Now the thing is that's awkward for me. A negative fraction is either negative on the top or negative on the bottom, not both. So I'm going to just rewrite this as negative 10 over 4. Now we use that for our slope. We're going to pull a point. And this one I decided to not use the 0 point. I'm going to go ahead and use the first point. So I have y minus negative 5 equals negative 10 fourths times x minus 4. That double negative changes to a plus again, multiplying this ugly fraction through. It's not so bad times a variable. We just copy it times x. And now we have a negative times a negative. That's a plus. And the 4's are going to cancel, and you're just left with the numerator, which is 10. Subtract the 5. We end up with y equals negative 10 fourths x plus 5. Did you guys get that? Let me know in the comments. Okay, that was just a couple of examples to help you be able to learn how to do this. But if you are in my class, make sure you check the master notebook because the rest of the examples and try-its are there. If you are not in my class, thank you for watching. I'm going to create a playlist for all of these videos that I'm doing in class about writing equations. So watch for that. Make sure you're subscribed and turned on your notifications. And I will see you next time. Bye.